Welcome back to the Old Charles. Today we are going to explore a coin that many collectors and history enthusiasts find fascinating. The 1976 Australian 20-cent coin is not just a piece of metal, it is a snapshot of history and a potential treasure for collectors around the world. So sit back, relax and join us as we dive deep into the story, design, history and value of this iconic coin. The Australian 20-cent coin was first introduced in 1966 when Australia decimalised its currency. Before that, Australia used the pounds, shillings and pence system. The 20-cent coin replaced the florin, which was equivalent to 2 shillings and 6 pence or a quarter of a pound. The 1976 issue comes 10 years after the introduction of decimal currency, making it part of the second decade of the coin's circulation. One of the most interesting things about the 1976 Australian 20-cent coin is its design. On the obverse side you will find the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. This portrait was created by Arnold Machin and it was widely used on Australian coins from 1966 to 1984. The Queen is depicted wearing the royal diadem with a dignified expression which reflects the stability and continuity of the monarchy during that era. On the reverse side of the coin you will see the iconic platypus designed by William Dorward Wright. He was inspired by Australia's unique wildlife, and the platypus perfectly represents the country's natural heritage. The platypus is swimming gracefully in water surrounded by small ripples. The attention to detail in the fur texture and the water is remarkable, and it makes the coin highly appealing to collectors and casual observers alike. The composition of the 1976 20-cent coin is cupro nickel with a weight of 11.3 grams, a diameter of 28.52 mm and a thickness of 2.5 mm. The edge of the coin is reeded, giving it a tactile feel that is easy to recognize and difficult to counterfeit. The coin is considered very durable, making it a popular choice for circulation. During it comes to rarity and value, the 1976 Australian 20-cent coin is not among the rarest issues in Australian numismatics. However, condition plays a significant role in determining its market value. Coins that are in uncirculated or mint state condition can command higher prices compared to those that have been heavily used over the decades. Collectors often look for coins with full details, sharp edges and minimal wear. Another factor affecting value is the mint mark. The Royal Australian Mint in Canberra produce the majority of coins, but occasionally coins with different mint marks or special issues may exist. These variations are highly sought after because they are less common and they add a unique story to the coin. Grading is an important aspect for serious collectors. Coins are evaluated based on strike, luster, surface preservation and overall eye appeal. Common grades include circulated, fine, very fine, extremely fine and uncirculated. Each grade represents a level of wear and detail retention and can dramatically affect the coin's value. A well-preserved 1976 20-cent coin in mint state can be significantly more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated beyond its value as currency. The 1976 Australian 20-cent coin is an important part of Australian history. It was minted during a time of social and economic change. The country was celebrating its cultural identity, and the platypus design symbolized Australia's unique flora and fauna as well as the importance of wildlife conservation, which was gaining attention during the 1970s for collectors worldwide. Australian coins, including the 20-cent, are attractive because of their distinct designs and historical context. Many collectors enjoy completing sets from different years to observe subtle differences in design and minting process over the years. The 1976 coin is often a must-have in such collections due to its position in the early decimal series. In addition to its numismatic appeal, the 20-cent coin is popular in educational to teach children about Australian wildlife, currency, history and the importance of coins in everyday life. The platypus design often sparks curiosity about Australia's natural environment and encourages interest in wildlife and ecology. If you are considering buying or selling a 1976 Australian 20-cent coin, it is important to check the current market trends. Coins that are well preserved with clear details and minimal wear typically fetch higher prices. Auctions and online numismatic marketplaces are excellent places to gauge demand and determine a fair value. To sum up, the 1976 Australian 20-cent coin is more than just metal. It is a connection to the history, culture and wildlife of Australia. Its iconic platypus design and royal effigy make it a standout piece for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. While it may not be the rarest coin, it holds value for those who appreciate its design, quality and place in Australian numismatic history. The Australian 20-cent coin has its roots in the Significant currency reform of 1966 when Australia transitioned from the old pounds shillings and pence system to decimal currency. Before 1966 Australia used the imperial system where coins like the florin shilling and sixpence were common. The florin was worth 2 shillings and sixpence, which is exactly 1/4 of a pound. When Australia decimalised, the florin was replaced by the 20-cent coin. This allowed for easier calculations and a modern standardised currency system. The year 1976 falls within the second decade of Australian decimal currency. The coins minted in this period were part of an effort to establish the new system firmly in the public consciousness. The 20-cent coin quickly became an essential denomination used for everyday transactions ranging from small purchases to larger combinations of coins. The obverse of the 1976 coin features Queen Elizabeth II, whose portrait was designed by Arnold Mackin. The portrait used on Australian coins from 1966 to 1984 shows the Queen wearing the royal diadem. This design was intended to reflect stability, dignity, and the ongoing connection between Australia and the British monarchy. At that time Australia was a fully independent nation within the Commonwealth but still recognised the Queen as head of state. The reverse of the coin was designed by William Dorward Wright, a talented artist and coin designer. His depiction of the platypus swimming gracefully in water represents Australia's unique wildlife. The platypus is a monotreme, a rare group of egg-laying mammals found only in Australia and New Guinea, and it was chosen to emphasise the distinctiveness of Australian fauna. This design quickly became iconic and remains one of the most recognisable features of Australian coinage. The 1970s in Australia were a time of social and economic development. The country was defining its national identity and seeking symbols that represented its culture and natural heritage. The platypus design can be seen as part of this cultural expression, highlighting Australia's connection to its land and wildlife. The coin was produced in cupro nickel, which was standard for circulation coins at the time. This ensured durability for heavy use while maintaining a bright silver appearance. The diameter, weight, and reeded edge were all standardized to make the coin practical for everyday use and easy to handle. The reeded edge also served as a security feature to prevent counterfeiting. While the 1976 20-cent coin was widely circulated, it is now valued by collectors because coins from this period are increasingly harder to find in uncirculated condition. Coins that have survived decades without significant wear offer a glimpse into the past and connect